a full house, great atmosphere. The fireworks and the flares. The referee is Jack Smith. Tom Grant will be our video referee, I'm sure, later on. And it'll be Harry Smith to get us underway. Wigan, of course, in their change strip. But yeah, they've been able... The thing with Wigan is that in the main, they have escaped big injuries, haven't they? You know, they've been able to feel their big threats in Field and French and Smith and Marshall and Wardle throughout the season. And that reflects in what you said about scoring points for fun.
Yeah, and it speaks to the organisation as well, doesn't it? The professionalism, not just on the field and how the players are diligent in their rest and recovery, but the facilities and the infrastructure in place behind the scenes at the Wigan Warriors as well. I know they invest heavily in that, and that's why we see the stars on the field week in, week out.
So away we go. Yeah, Wigan came over on Thursday after they had their last training session, and Matty Peake gave them a day off yesterday just to relax ahead of the game. So let's see what Catalans can do against the champions. It's been a heck of a week, hasn't it, for the Dragons? Satai brought down, and Da Costa at dummy half. They're missing Garcia, they're missing Bousquet and Makinson and Cockridge, and a lot of big names not available. And the decision as well, a brave call by Joel Tompkins to drop Tabitha Pangai Jr.
Yeah, absolutely, because he will have a very good idea of the form that Tabitha Pangai Jr. is in or not. But either way, I mean, it's a big body to take out of the middle unit, and you're missing Bousquet as well. So yes, it's a calculated gamble by the new coach.
Good kick from Farge at the end of the set. Jay Field having to take it behind his own line, and here is Liam Marshall and Eckersley. He's done well to play, hasn't he? He looked like a nasty neck injury he picked up in the win over Lee, but Matty Peake said he's A-OK. He wouldn't have risked him if there was any doubt whatsoever. O'Neill at dummy half.
He's made the 10.
Here is Luke Thompson, replacing Sam Walters in the starting lineup.
5 kick pressure, Navarrete. 40, that's clear.
And Smith with the kick downfield. That's a really good kick, isn't it? Just managed to keep the ball in play there. Guillermo Aspuro Bichet, but what a kick from Harry Smith, and that's been indicative of Wigan all season. Their kicks on the last, especially from Smith, have been outstanding.
Yeah, I think it's just his consistency. I think. Look, I think he's. It's very hard to say this, isn't it, when you've got a French and a Field in the side who provide the points and the flair and the excitement. But I think he is as important, if not more important, to this Wigan side. I think he's that good.
There's Remus Smith and Da Costa at dummy half. Tariq Sims pushed back by Bevan French and by Liam Byrne. The ball goes to ground. And he lost it. He lost it.
I've never called the first big.
Tariq Sims looking puzzled there, but I think he just lost possession of the ball.
Yeah, Dragons blink first in the shape of Tariq Sims. There was lots of attention around him. There were 3 players in the tackle. But it is the ball carrier's responsibility to keep hold of that ball. Look, he had plenty of attention from Liam Byrne up top, but he's still got to do better than that. So first opportunity for the Wigan Warriors. And the stats this year say they don't need a long look. Once inside the red zone, it takes them just over a set of 6 to score. 6 play-the balls.
They might not need that, and Jay Field going through a gap. Absolutely brilliant from Jay Field. He has been sensational all season. His 15th try. He's Super League's leading try scorer with 13 now. But wow, we talked about the strike, and they proved it inside 3 minutes. Jay Field with another bit of magic, and Wigan lead in the south of France.
Oh, it's so good. So good from Jay Field. He just keeps giving us this season moments of brilliance. Just once he puts on the afterburners, he sides between Mathieu Lecoeur and the debutant on the wing and goes through from 40 metres out untouched. Just a show, ball in 2 hands, strips the centre, ducks inside the winger, and the Wigan Warriors open the scoring as early as the 3rd minute. That's special. That's a special start. And it just underlines how dangerous the Wigan Warriors are at that end of the field. It's a big, big task for the Catalan Dragons, and they'll do well to take heed of this early gift of territory, because this is a ruthless Warriors side when in position.
Well, the stats say it all. Jay Field now in Super League, 13 tries, 9 assists. Bevan French, 8 tries, 12 assists. It's phenomenal what Field and French are able to do. And here is Adam Kieran, of course, played in a grand final for the Catalan Dragons in his one season against Wigan in 2023. There has been the speculation about where Kieran will be next season as well. Will he still be at Wigan? Will he be moving back to Australia? But for now, thoughts and eyes firmly fixed on adding 2 points to that cracking try from Jay Field. And Wigan leads 6-0. The mistake originally from Tariq Sims, and Joel Tompkins already knowing it looks like being a big, big ask for the Dragons this afternoon.
Well, the Warriors have hit the ground running, haven't they? Jay Field is an absolute weapon in attack. He's just scythed through the Catalan Dragons defence there, direct from the scrum, and a statement made by the travelling team early on in this game.
But John, you mentioned it. And I think they've made another mistake, haven't they, with a kick out. It's like a kick out on the full. So Wigan are going to get the ball back from a penalty on halfway, and you cannot afford to do that in any game. But against the champions when they're in the mood, mistake by Tariq Sims. 30 seconds later, Jay Field was under the post. A mistake from the kickoff, and Wigan in great field position once more.
And it's just been gifted to them as well, hasn't it? I mean, you know, high up on the list of things not to do against the Wigan Warriors is gift them possession and position. And the Dragons have done it twice inside the opening 5 minutes.
Burn it was. Already looking dangerous. 6 minutes gone, already looking to double their lead. Ball goes to the right-hand side. Kane Ellis. Well, it looked like he lost possession, and he has. Well, there's a mistake from Wigan when they were in really good field possession. And that is huge relief for Catalan. Kane Ellis just losing the ball.
Yeah, and it's ridiculously early in the game to start saying and thinking about the Catalan Dragons needing that, but they needed that. Because I think if the Wigan Warriors crossed again, I mean, that would have really set the tone for the rest of the game. As it happens, Kane Ellis, incorrect play the ball. The Dragons get to draw breath.
Well, Joe Tompkins has only had a couple of days really to work with the Catalan players. It was all about trying to simplify things. Fresh start, fresh attitude, and maybe fresh hope, we shall see. But yeah, he was told at 7:30 by the powers that be on Tuesday morning that he was going to be put in temporary charge. And I say it was a real stinging shock to everyone, Steve McNamara's departure.
Yeah, you know, and it's a great opportunity for Joel. You know, he's probably come a little sooner in his career than he thought he would be, being at the helm of a Super League club. But you know, a brilliant opportunity nonetheless.
Nowhere for Roman Maverick to go. 6-0 Wigan lead. They've won their last 4 games against the Catalan Dragons and conceded less than 8 points in all of them. Easy take for Liam Marshall. Now, can the Dragons stand up in defence? Partington, former Wigan player, and DaCosta in there with the tackle.
Yeah, they really laboured through that last set in possession, the Catalan Dragons. And they're really going to have to work hard in the open exchanges here to level that playing field up, because there's no doubt about who's hit the ground running the fastest, and that's the visitors.
There is Farrell. Astonishing career. Just looking back, John, 394th game for Wigan today. Liam Farrell.
It's the consistency as well, isn't it? I mean, he's been consistently excellent. You know, 8s and 9s out of 10 every week. Harry Smith with the bomb into the corner. That's well taken.
It was by the young man, Clement Martin.
Offside. Call from the side. The call from the side.
All offside. You can hear the referee, Jack Smith, saying there. So a penalty for Catalans. Yeah, Martin coming in for Nick Cottridge. He was 50-50, the Aussie winger, to play in this game just 24 hours ago, suffering from tonsillitis. But Joe Tompkins saying you have no doubts about throwing Martin in, a future star, they reckon, of French Rugby League, only 20, already won a cap for his country. The first real opportunity for Catalans, with ball in hand, inside the Wigan half, trailing by 6 points to 0. Navarrete.
Get out now, Wigan!
Strong defence from Ellis and from Thompson.
Bevan!
There is Chris Satai. It may well have been offside again, I think. It was. So 2 offside penalties. What an opportunity here for Catalans. First opportunity in that red zone, as you say, John. Let's see what they're made of. Navarrete for the Dragons. 10 minutes in and it's flown by. Jay Field's super solo try the difference. Rich the Costa. Sims plays the ball correctly this time. Partington eventually plays the ball. Da Costa now. Good tackle from Field and from Junior and Stemba. Nowhere for Navarrete to go. Go to that left-hand side. Is there a gap there for Tarek Sims? There isn't. Plays the ball quickly. They go the short side. Little kick through, and I think it was just too much there for Remus Smith. It was the right idea. He wasn't far away, and Jay Field will try and race away from Wigan.
Yeah, just too much on the kick, wasn't there? Just a little bit too much weight on the kick. Remus Smith couldn't get that, but good line from Tarek Sims in the build-up. He took a short ball from Luke Keary. Bevan French needed to go down.
Eckersley's through. Eckersley's got an opportunity. Good tackle in the end. Well, he managed to grab hold of his leg as Bureau Bichet, but Zach Eckersley with the break. One end to of the field to the other in a matter of seconds. Wardle always looking to offload. Laguerre and Farge with the tackle. It's Junior and Semba at dummy half, and just see there how quickly they've turned defence into attack.
Well, now a penalty given away. What a break by Zach Eckersley. I'm just saying that the Catalan Dragons' first possession in decent position, and I think they asked a couple of questions. Well, those questions were answered emphatically by this man. A break downfield, and it took Spiro Bichet just to get in the way, if nothing else, to bring down Zach Eckersley with the Warriors.
Yeah, captain challenge, Luke Keary there debating. Jack Smith saying that his shoulder knocked the ball out. So the video ref will make a call. Early captain challenge from Catalan.
It's a captain's challenge from Catalans there, challenging the decision of a ball steal. So he's in possession at this point, and there is clearly 2 Catalans players holding the ball. Can we just go back on that, please? Yeah, stay in this angle, please. So tighten that. So Luke Keary's wrapping the ball up at this point, which is entitled to do. We know that there are 2 defenders in that tackle. Just stay on this angle, go back, please. Yeah, same angle, please. So he's entitled to wrap the ball up at this point. To keep playing through. Is there a clear pulling action on that ball? Yes, there is, which dislodges the ball. That constitutes a ball steal. Challenge unsuccessful.
I'm not getting hit on, mate.
It's a ball steal, mate. Luke Keary.
Well, there you go. Challenge lost by Luke Keary and Catalan. Ball steal confirmed there by the video referee, Tom Grant. Wigan had a penalty in front of the post.
Yeah, Keary's still arguing with the referee, Jack Smith. Tom Grant adjudged that there was a pulling action there. It's interesting. Warriors opting for the penalty. I mean, it's a gimme 2 points from the boot of Adam Kieran. He looked at just how effective they were on their first soiree into the Catalan Dragons red zone.
Jay Field's try after 3 minutes. Kieran with the conversion, and will surely add the penalty. This, by the way, the first of 6 consecutive away games for the Wigan Warriors. Well, the pitch is relayed and repaired at the brick. So 8-0 it is, 13 minutes on the clock. Thoroughly professional, you have to say, so far from Wigan.
Yeah, I am surprised. I mean, as I said, it's a certain 2 points in the boot of that man, but I am surprised that they opted to go for the 2. I think in the stoppage as well, Luke Thompson, who you saw receiving some treatment, he's left the field. Sam Walters, an earlier than planned substitution, comes on. He seems to have really found his feet as well in a Warriors jersey this season, doesn't he?
Yeah, last 4 or 5 games looking much more like the Sam Walters who made his name at Leeds. So 8-0 it is, and Catalan may have had more of the ball, but Wigan are doing a lot more with it.
2, Ollie off the ball! Fine, the step. Hold. It's fine.
And Semba.
A step, Chris. Third, off the ball, Tarek.
Yeah, over 1,000 Wigan fans at the Stanfield Bird Brutus. Farrell again, always a willing runner. Smith it is with a kick downfield, well taken there by Guillermo Bichet. The heir apparent to Sam Tompkins, isn't he? I've been mighty impressed with the young man since he's come into the side.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's had a great start to life in Super League. Had issues with the play the ball, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago, I dare say that will have been high on the list of extras in training. But listen, no doubt in the talent. I think his positional play for a young lad is really good.
Warden with a tackle within Semba, just inside their own half of the field. Partington plays it to Costa now. The kick. Well taken by Marshall. That's a better kick, a better end to the set for the Catalan Dragons, and a decent chase as well from Satai and Da Costa. Wigan leading 8-0 after 15 minutes.
Yeah, the Dragons do seem to have found the rhythm a little bit in the last 5 minutes or so. You've got getting to the end of their sets, just one incompleted set. That's going to be important as this game unfolds.
Telling Kieran to play the ball from the right spot. Here is Walters for Wigan. Oh, 6'7" of him.
Surrender. 5. Stand. Hold. Keep pressure on Harry. Go.
And Neil once more.
Middle.
Smith gets the kick away. Good take from Maspuro Bichet. As John Wells mentioned, he has been really impressive. Wardman and Semba very quick with the chase. There's 3 consecutive defeats for the Catalan Dragons as Martin, the debutant, stopped just inside his own half. I think that was high from Kieran on Laguerre. Penalty to Catalan. Wigan leading 8-0.
Yeah, and after exploding out the blocks, the Warriors, I think they've been a bit sloppy in the last 5 minutes. Kieran in there second and in high as well. So the Dragons once again, and you have a full set here. We're going to get a good look at this Wigan Warriors line. It's what bullets have they got to fire? That's my question.
Well, let's see, Da Costa. Here is Fars now. Ball picked up by the debutant Martin, but just couldn't hold on to it. A little juggle, and the ball goes loose, and Well, it looked like a good plan. It was Yaha actually found Yaha, who just couldn't hold on to the ball. Yaha playing instead of Tommy Makinson. Yeah, just couldn't hang on to it, could it?
Guys, he's got to do better than that as well. Experienced player, Fuad Yaha. But he's got an error in him, the wingman.
Let's work with him though, Liam. It's 4 times Bevan's been called. In what, we're about 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, an interesting start to the game, hasn't it? I mean, the Catalan Dragons look really slow, sluggish out the blocks. The Wigan Warriors scored in their first possession inside the Catalan Dragons half. Then we've seen the Dragons kind of pulling themselves up by the bootlaces, but showing no real teeth in attack today.
That's been the problem for a lot of the season for the Catalan Dragons. Just not been able to convert the ball and the possession they've had into points.
Yeah, they're averaging 18 points a game, and really, that's not going to cut it if you're conceding more than that.
Well, they've got a chance here with Marshall down this left-hand side. Brilliant pace from Liam Marshall. Support inside from Sam Walters, and Wigan with the try. Well, they can strike from anywhere, and that's the danger for Catalan. Nothing looked on. The ball was swept to the left-hand side. The pace of Marshall, the support of Walters, and Wigan go 12-0 up.
Yeah, it looked too easy, didn't it? Walters only on the field for the last 5 minutes, a replacement for Luke Thompson. It's just a regulation spread play that really ties up Mathieu Laguerre. He's the centre who's now trying to track Liam Marshall. He got himself into all sorts of difficulty, overreading what was unfolding in front of him. And then Liam Marshall, don't underestimate this skill as well. You put on the afterburners and then you almost kind of break stride to allow the support to come, which does in the shape of Sam Walters. But once on the outside, he shows a clean pair of heels, then just here, just off the gas, lines up the fullback, waits for support. That's textbook stuff from the Warriors.
Yeah, well, Liam Marshall against Mathieu Laguerre is no contest, and Matthew Pete will be really happy. He rang Joel Tompkins on Tuesday just to give him a few words of advice, and he said he'll be there for him anytime he needs to make a call. Best of mates.
He's not taking calls right now, though, is he?
Not today. 12-0. Yeah, but I mean, they just strike so quickly. And Harry Smith with the pass there to Liam Marshall, and you just knew what the end result was before it actually happened.
It's where they can score from as well. So we've seen already, first try of the afternoon, inside the opposition red zone, deadly. But they've also scored, I think it's over a dozen, 16 tries I think it is, on the zero tackle, from deep, from kick returns. It is a ruthlessly efficient iteration of the Wigan Warriors we've seen this year.
Midway point of the first half, Wigan already in control in Perpignan. Ten yards in from touch on this left-hand side. Well, for the moment, the ball left the boot, no doubt whatsoever. And Wigan leads 14-0.
Yeah, just on Adam Kieran as well. His kicking percentage this year down a little on previous seasons, but if the Wigan Warriors as champions are going up in sixes, I mean, that's just another problem for the Catalan Dragons and all opposition that face them this year to solve.
I'm sure Wigan would like to keep Kieran. That's for the future, all to be resolved. Jim Byrne with the first charge from the kickoff. 20 minutes on the clock, 14-0 Wigan, looking good. Sam Walters.
Yeah, Sarte shot out the line there, trying to inject some kind of energy into the defensive line.
Here is Farrell.
Move! Hold! Hold! Go! Oh, Chris off the ball! Go for kick.
Smith just drops the ball off for Junior and Sember.
5, stand! Surrender, go!
Here is Harry Smith again. Again, a really good kick, bounces awkwardly, but taken by Spiro Bichet. And there is Clement Martin. Ball goes for Remus Smith on the run.
Better for the Dragons. They start this set just coming outside their own 40. Here is Clement Martin, only young, isn't he?
Yes.
Lesignan Jr., I think big raps on him. Everybody you talk to down in the south of France say he's got a big future ahead of him.
Yeah, fair play to Joe Tompkins for sticking with the French contingent. 11 of the 17. Here is Farge. They use the short side. And again for Yaha! Yaha with a little kick over the top, and it was charged down by Jay Field. But in an instant, they were a threat. Farge and Laguerre, lovely little pass out.
That was great stuff from Elliot Whitehead, wasn't it, to put Yaha away on the outside, and it took that intervention from Field rather. But all that started with a much more positive start to the set. Clement Martin found Remus Smith, bit of footwork, and their set start, all of a sudden, looked a lot more promising, didn't it?
Well, they've got a chance now to double up. Another set on the Wigan line. Laguerre and a Whitehead and Yaha with the right idea. Kiri brought down. Charge here from Seguier. Yard away from the Wigan line. Needing to score, 14-0 down. I think Wigan were all offside. The referee, Jack Smith, agrees. So another chance here for Catalan. They've got to make it count, you feel?
Yeah, I think, again, you know, we're a quarter way through the game, but you do get the feeling the Catalan Dragons, they cannot have this many looks at an opposition try line and not convert into points. Sartai, first carry.
Right in front of the sticks. Best moments of the match for the Dragons. Farge. Whitehead eventually releases his arms to play the ball. Kiri now, much more interested. Smith. That was a crunching tackle by Bevan French there on Remus Smith.
He was
and
off.
He felt that. He was juggling the ball.
He was off balance, wasn't he, Remus Smith, because he'd opened up the ribcage to take possession. Not a clean catch from the pass, and as the ball's up and the ribcage is exposed, it's Kieran who comes in.
Kieran it was.
Oh, it might take a minute or two to count those ribs. Yeah, they're painful, and he just had the wind knocked out of him, Remus Smith, and just indicated to the referee. And he's going to have to take a green card here because he's been down and player's been forced to stop. So 2 minutes on the sideline for Remus Smith.
2 minutes, it's a green card.
Yeah, explained there by the referee Jack Smith. The rule is that if you are down and then you get back up, it used to be for defensive players, didn't it? Now it's for attacking players as well. So he'll have to go off the field for 2 minutes. No substitute replacements allowed either. But Catalan enjoyed their best spell of the game. 24 minutes gone, 14-0 though, Wigan in front. Kiri for Satai. Always looking to offload. French and Farrell in there with the tackle. Here is Kiri. Farge now. Spiro Bichet does really well. He was looking to offload all the time there. Marshall closed the door. On the last it is. Whitehead for Farge. Farge will kick across field. And the ball is taken well and then dropped by Adam Kieran. So it's going to be another opportunity for Catalan right on the Wigan line.
Oh, it's such a shame, isn't it? Because who's the one man on the field who you would want going up for that crossfield kick? It's Remus Smith, who's busy having his ribs inspected on the sideline. And this is the nearly moment for Spiro Bichet. Slithers out of one tackle, and then it took Marshall coming in, actually, I think, to prevent the offload coming away. But the Dragons, you're right, they're enjoying a purple patch at the moment. Right area of the field, fresh set of 6.
And they have to score. They have to make it count.
Wait, Kane, wait for it. Go on.
20+ tackles they've had now.
Move, Liam, stay on the line.
On the Wigan line. Seguier plays it for Da Costa. Here is Tariq Sims. Liam Byrne has been brilliant in defence. I'm going to say all game, all season as well. Da Costa and Keary. Farge with a long pass out. Picked out by Liam Marshall. And you will not stop Liam Marshall from the moment he intercepted 85 yards. Marshall, afterburners, Wigan try.
That's brilliant from Marshall. His positional defence, I think, is outstanding. It's an unheralded part of his game. And when he saw the breakdown in the attack and then Theo Farge almost eyeballing his wingman, Ford Yaha, he just put himself in that no-man's land. He made himself a threat defensively. Take a look at Marshall, just sitting there in that pocket, waiting to strike. Farge pulls the trigger, Marshall moves on the pass. And you're right, when he gets in the clear, there's nobody in Super League who's going to pick up and reel in Marshall with a 5-yard start. Yeah, it was a good read from Harry Smith, wasn't it, to block the passage from Theo Farge, but he persisted. He had the pass imagined in his mind to Ford Yaha. He didn't imagine that, standing underneath his own sticks after Liam Marshall runs 90 metres. That's a really, really cruel passage of play for the Catalan Dragons.
20+ playable in that Wigan red zone. Wigan defensively were excellent, weren't they? A sniff of an opportunity for Liam Marshall. Potentially 14-4, 14-6 is surely about to become 20-0.
Yeah, it's just what can happen in the snap of her fingers. 15 seconds turns this game upside down with no reward for the pressure that the Catalan Dragons have been able to apply. But I go back again to Liam Marshall. That is really intelligent defensive play from the wingman. He just put himself in that no man's land. He didn't commit one way or the other and made himself available, gave himself every chance to pick off that pass from Theo Farge.
Kieran make it 4 out of 4 and Wigan lead by 20 points to 0. Dominating. It's been a baptism of fire, hasn't it, for Joel Tompkins. He will know all too well about the dangers that Wigan pose, and the good news as well for Wigan after 4 months on the sidelines. Ethan Havard is back on the field. Tore his hamstring badly.
Take a look at the bottom line of those. Play the balls. I mean, as Liam Marshall makes a knock-on, play the balls to the opposition 20. Just look at that stat. 16. I mean, that's almost 3 sets of 6 they've had there. They've been turned away at every opportunity, and worse than that, they've conceded a try off the back of it. But that's an uncharacteristic error for the Wigan Warriors wingman. That's sport for you, isn't it? You go 90 metres and score in front of your home fans and then knock on untouched at the other end of the field.
I'm sure you know that feeling.
Which one? The running 90 metres to score or knocking on untouched?
Well, they've got to score here, can they? Ball goes out to the far side.
Oh, great defence.
It was.
Eckersley it was.
And Martin. Bruno Bichet's there as well. Yeah, astonishing, isn't it? They have 2 playable inside the Catalan 10. Yet they scored 3 tries. Here is Desiree. Decent amount of pressure, good amount of ball, but nothing to show for it. Farge and Whitehead once more, but Wigan defensively stepping up. Coming up for half an hour gone at the stand, Gilbert Brutus. Looking for the offload, Desiree. It was a poor option, but it may well have got the hand of Sam Walters, I think. And it has. The Catalan are going to get another opportunity, but you have to say, John, for all the ball they've had, for all the pressure they've had, they've not really looked like score.
No, it's been a little blunt, hasn't it? I posed the question: what bullets have they got to fire in when in position? You know, the opening half hour of the game is anything to go by. Not much, unfortunately.
But they go again with another opportunity. Bureau Bichet. Martin does well to get the ball back, and Farrell trying to roll the French fullback into touch. And what's the referee going to rule here?
Oh, geez, it all looked a little desperate, didn't it?
It was.
First,
It may well be he's going to rule a forward pass.
First play off the scrum. Look, you know, and again, you credit the Warriors' defence. I mean, that is to a man. Everybody knows the role there. Everybody knows what responsibilities they have in defence. And I know that Matt P, he sees this side of the game as important as the good stuff, as racking the points up.
Well, it has been. For all the possession that Catalan have had, they really haven't looked like breaking through. Remus Smith, after spending 2 minutes on the sidelines with that green card decision, back on.
Heads in, wait, heads in. Out.
20 points to nil. Catalan pushing the scrum. I think we saw St Helens do that successfully against Huddersfield on Friday night. Occasionally it does work, always worth a try, but Wigan just doing everything right. With the return of Ethan Havard, will be a big boost. He's been beset by hamstring problems throughout his career, and ripped his hamstring in pre-season training camp, but finally back in business after 4 months. Here is one of the try scorers, Walters. Cruz leaving on at dummy half.
That's a better defensive set from the Dragons, though. They've restricted him to less than 30 metres, the Warriors. Harry Smith from inside his 40. This will be taken on the full, or should be, by Yaha.
Yep, Yaha does well.
That's a good return as well, with interest, but he's picked up by the Wigan Warriors defence and Sembra and Wardle.
How often is it the chase that we see the Wigan number 11 and the Wigan number 4 leading the chase and making that first tackle? Wigan man down in backfield. 20 points to nil, they lead. 8 minutes to go to half-time in Perpignan. And it's been a real tough baptism for Joel Tompkins. A lot of what they've done has been okay.
They've just missed that final bit of polish, haven't they? They've got themselves in some great positions. Sometimes the Wigan Warriors have gifted them. There's a breaking play because Sam Walters is receiving treatment. It's a lower leg injury that is being assessed by the Wigan Warriors physio crew at the moment. You're right, they've got themselves into great position. And it's just that, it's the last pass, or I think a lack of a convincing lead line. I think that's one thing they're missing. We saw it once in the opening stage of the game from Tariq Sims, short ball off Luke Keary. That caused problems for Bevan French on that right edge. And when you take into account the experience that's sat on the sidelines in the shape of Garcia, you know, their job's made all the more difficult.
Garcia, Bousquet, Makinson, Cottridge, Sam Tompkins, of course. It doesn't look too good, does it, for Sam Walters? A lower leg injury. He might just have fallen awkwardly in the tackle. The Wigan with tries from Jay Field, Sam Walters and Liam Marshall. 4 goals from the former Catalan Dragon, Adam Kieran. And we've had to soak up a lot of pressure, but they've defended really well.
Well, there's a fair bit of strapping underneath. That's patella strapping that sits just underneath the kneecap. There's maybe an issue there already, and it's as he's just come and hobbling on one leg. He's not even involved in the tackle. Fouad Yaha returns the ball. On the left-hand side of your screen, you can see Sam Walters not happy as he can't really put any pressure on that leg, and he's leaving the field. You feel that's the end of Sam Walters' night. So a cameo appearance from the interchange from Sam Walters, a try and his first real contribution in attack, but leaves the field after half an hour.
20 points to nil. Super League champions in front. Farge under pressure from Nsemba, gets the ball away and it's allowed to bounce. Yaha with an indiscriminate boot downfield.
That's really loose.
Yeah.
You're Joel Tompkins there, you're apoplectic at that. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing from Yaha. He's given away a 7-tackle restart. This was the pressure on the kick, nothing in that from Junior Nsemba. And at the half-hour, mate, take a look at the average gain in possession. That's per tackle. You're looking at 10 metres a carry from the Wigan Warriors. That's just not good enough from a defensive point of view from the Dragons. They've had sets where I think they've been effective, but yeah, that's getting. I mean, clearly that's blown out by the breaks of Zach Eckersley and Liam Marshall, but it's probably still going to be around 7 or 8 metres without those 2 runs.
That was Havard. Farrell has lost the ball. They haven't been inside the Catalan half too much, have they? But they haven't needed to be.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed as well by the Wigan Warriors, they're not squeaky clean, are they? We've seen this in recent weeks, 2 or 3 weeks running now. They are giving opposition possession. They are not as clinical as we have used to have seen them, certainly in 2024 and the start of this season. So there's opportunities here. Are the Catalan Dragons good enough to take them?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Spuro Bichet now. Here is Desiree back at the Stade Gilbert Brutus after a short spell on loan at the Castleford Tigers. Farge once more. Good tackle by Nsemba. That's the last.
Again, a half-back on the last and not either understanding, realising or getting himself in the correct position to put the kick either for a Catalan Dragons player to attack or to try and regain possession. Again, Joel Tompkins will be scribbling in his notebook.
And may go on for the injured Walters. I don't think he'll be back. Desiree it was with the high attempt on Cruz leaving. Penalty to Wigan.
It's a lazy arm. It's a lazy arm. Cruz Leeming's got that. He's got great footwork. He'd probably have a bruised neck most weeks. He's got great footwork at the line, hasn't he? And he just big middle forwards, just reaching out to try and grab at what was there half a second ago.
If you give Wigan an opportunity more often than not, certainly over the last 2 seasons, they will take it. Leeming at dummy half. 4 minutes to go in this first half. Bevan French, not seen too much of Bevan French having with ball in hand, but sometimes that's the case, and then all of a sudden it'll produce something very, very special. Right in front of the post, Havard it was, who was brought down. Leeming, they come to this left-hand side. Ball comes out and it's picked off by Yaha. But no space for the French winger to break, and Harry Smith brings it down.
Yeah, not a clever end to a set by the Wigan Warriors. Ruthless streak has just evaporated over the last 2 or 3 minutes, and now a penalty given away as well. Just too much in the play. The ball, Luke Keary will do right here, not to hang around, get this ball off the field, take the meters, and try and inject some life into this Catalan Dragons attack. I want to see good shape off this set. They're in an attacking side of the field. Where's your genuine lead lines? Where's the questions being asked of fringe defenders? That's what I want to see.
Well, not too many questions have been asked of the Wigan defence in this first half, despite the ball that Catalan have had close to the Wigan line. Whitehead eventually plays the ball. Here is Seguier. And again, strong in defence. It was Mago and Leeming for Wigan. Farge now. Oh, good charge from Laguerre.
That's better. Inside shoulder causes problems. It really does for fringe defenders.
Something a bit more inventive. Now an opportunity. Ball goes out to the young man Martin, who's rolled into touch by Bevan French. As I say, we haven't seen too much of Bevan French with ball in hand, but defensively, that was exceptional.
Yeah, Bevan French just has to be in the right place at the right time, and he's got such good speed, covers the ground so well. But again, towards the back end of the set, all the Catalan Dragons players are all operating in the same direction. They're all drifting on the same line. Mathieu Laguerre showed them in that set how it's supposed to be done. You look at the inside shoulder of an edge defender and you get joy. You get your nose through the line, you get some momentum.
20 points to 0. Not been Wigan's best performance by a long, long way, but doing what they need to do. They've struck some big blows at one end of the field, and some big blows defensively at the other.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have had to have been excellent, have they? They just had to be decent. This is Bevan French now kicking for position. Turns Espiro Bichet round. He gets it on the second bounce. Bit of urgency shown by the fullback as well. He gets outside the chase.
Yeah, a bit of shining light. Yeah, no, Espiro Bichet. Smith and Leeming were in there making the tackle.
Another good tackle from Kieran. He's lining them up this evening.
He has. That was the young man Martin. It was Laguerre for the Catalan Dragons. Can't fault the effort.
Yeah, there's plenty of industry. I agree with you. There's just not much polish, though, is there?
No. Da Costa. Closing stages then, or the first half. Yaha trying to pinch a yard or two. Will eventually get the ball away on the last Farge with the kick downfield. Yeah, lots of industry, lots of effort, but no end result for the Catalan Dragons. And Liam Marshall it is. Eventually brought down. One more play. Yeah, no risk taken by Zach Eckersley. So Wigan well on their way to a 7th consecutive Super League victory. Dominant on the scoreboard, if not when it comes to having the ball in hand, but they scored some brilliant tries. Jay Field ghosting through from 40 yards out. Sam Walters finishing off a break from Liam Marshall, and then Liam Marshall regained training from Matty Peat at that exact time to ask him to go back to Wigan and help coach the academy. He would still be working as a firefighter. Here he is now with an opportunity to put himself right in contention, we think, over the next 4 months for the full-time job as Catalan coach.
If you asked him right now, though, do you think he'd swap that for rescuing cats out of trees? He'd probably bite your hand off at the halfway back of this game.
Know. It's a great challenge, isn't it? I mean, so he's only had 2 days to work with the players, and you know he's asked for effort, and he's got that. As you say, I mean, it was nicely put. Lots of effort, no polish at the end of it, and let's see what Catalan can do in the second half. For Wigan, they have had to defend, but for all the huff and puff that we've seen from the Catalan Dragons, they've not even really wobbled that Wigan wall, have they?
No, they haven't. And I think the Dragons they've got to kick the doors in now, and it's got to start here. And the Dragons have got to be the first to score, because this could spiral this scoreline. We can get another. We said earlier on in the broadcast that they're averaging 31 points a game. Well, you've got 20 by half-time. The Dragons need a response and need one quickly, I feel.
Cruz Leeming and Liam Farrell, the captain. Sims in there with the tackle. Kane Ellis, well, loses possession there. Yeah, it's right what you say. We have seen some sloppy patches from Wigan over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But on each occasion, they still managed to win.
Yeah, it'll be a source of frustration, though, won't it, for Matt Peat and the coaching staff at the Wigan Warriors, because he's seen the standards that they can achieve, and you're right, they probably fall a little bit below those at the moment. They are handing opposition opportunities.
Whitehead plays the ball. Here is Luke Carey. Tariq Sims, still not quite sure what's happening with Tariq Sims, out of contract at the end of this year. Desiree up against Nsemba. Offloads to Espuro Bichet.
It's lacking direction this set though, isn't it? All very flat-footed from the Dragons.
Keary towards the corner. Well taken by Adam Kieran. Pressure there from the young debutant Clement Martin and Remy Smith. But yeah, again, it was a nothing set on attack, wasn't it, from Catalans, and very much replicating the story of that first half.
Nobody firing themselves into holes. You know, no great shape. Clement Martin at the end of the set, you know, gets up for the contest too late against Kieran, and now they concede a penalty midway through the set. And Matt Pete will recognise, I think, that his side are probably operating a little bit below where he knows they can be. But you feel like they're not going to have to get out of second or third gear this evening if the Catalan Dragons keep self-imploding like they're doing.
Well, you well know champion sides win when they're not playing very well. So nowhere near Wigan's best, but if you're being brutally honest, it hasn't had to be.
No.
And Nsemba and leaving. Here is Mago. If we get any more news on Sam Walters from touchline, we'll let you know that it didn't look too good with that lower leg injury.
Move together, Tariq!
Mistake this time from Wardle, but it wasn't the best of passes, was it? Very scrappy again. 20-0 Wigan lead, 3 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, neither side have fallen into any kind of rhythm, have they? Just an errant pass from Harry Smith. Wardle snaked an arm out to try and recover that, but again, that's another error for the Wigan Warriors and another gifted possession for the Catalan Dragons. They just got to sort their shape out, and Forward Yard is having some treatment here that's
dislocated things.
Yeah, they're never fun.
Well, word from touchline, Joe Tompkins telling his players to stop trying to score on every pass, just slow things down, complete the sets and stop panicking. And
really? I've seen no evidence of him trying to score on every pass.
Well, Matt Pete,
I think he's been kind.
Matt Pete, I think, is on the same lines as you and I. His team needs to sharpen up too many errors. Just settle down a little bit. And confirmation, by the way, that Sam Walters is finished. Sean O'Loughlin on the touchline, the former Wigan captain and England captain, confirming that Walters is done for the day. But he's in a lot of pain with that leg injury, yet to be diagnosed. But it didn't look too good, did it?
No, he couldn't wait there at all, could he? Yeah, and they're very often you can't really recover from those in a short space of time. So the Warriors will see this game out with 16 men.
I know sometimes he's having to go off, isn't he? You can see all the bruising there around the hand. It's
yeah, sometimes fingers they drop back in really easily. Sometimes if you've done a little bit more damage, you can really wreck something trying to get it back into place. So probably doing the right thing. They're already missing a couple of wingers, of course, in Kotric and Tommy Makins, who are on the sidelines. And I hope that's not a serious one for Forward Yard. They have to have a bit of a reshuffle here.
Well, they are. Cesar Rouget's on the bench, Seguier, Desiree and big Frank Maria. So you would think that Rouget would be the option. Remy Smith. 4 minutes gone in the second half, 20 points to 0, Wigan in front. Looking to make it 7 wins on the spin. Da Costa. Keary involved again, offload from Tariq Sims. Here is Remy Smith. Cuts inside, does really well. Much better. Bit more threatening from the Dragons. Keary. Here is Desiree, trying to get away from Nsemba, but can't get away from Junior Nsemba. Trying to get the ball out. He just grabbed him, didn't he? just grabbed him like a sack of spuds and threw him to the ground, Junior Nsemba.
Do you know what, on that occasion as well, I think the pass was the right idea. We saw Teofage in support on the inside and didn't reckon on having his jersey pulled at the point he was trying to make the offload. He got the better of Junior Nsemba to start with, but just the momentum. The ball came out too fast, didn't it, and into the hands of a Warriors player.
Like a discus thrower, but got the direction all wrong. 20 points to nil. Here is Junior Nsemba. What a superstar he is. Cruz leaving. The space now for Marshall. Trying to get the ball inside, all a little bit scrappy again now from Wigan. There was half an opportunity, wasn't there, for Liam Marshall?
Yeah, short side play on the last tackle. They've got players out of position on that side of the field, haven't they? Cesar Rouget has gone onto the right wing. We normally see him operating in the halves or at full-back. In fact, they've moved Espiro Bichet out there now onto the wing.
Might be the foot in touch as well, to be fair, from Liam Marshall.
So again, we're seeing more scrappiness from the Wigan Warriors, aren't we?
I'm not feeling that way, mate, no. They're looking more at the play, that or not. Held! Move! Tackle one! He's onside, he's just gone quick.
Well, good news for Catalans is that through Yaha is having his fingers taped up. He should be back on, but as you say, it can be painful. If you ever dislocated a finger, you'll know. Decent kick this time from Farge, picked up by Jay Field. As I say, I mean, just to mention or repeat what we talked about in the first half, we've seen little or nothing from Bevan French with ball in hand, but you know, how many times have we said that throughout a game, and then all of a sudden
You've teed him up nicely.
Yeah,
You've teed him up for something special here. Eckersley, great to see him back on a field. That was a scary moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
When he left the field. Yeah, Bevan French, we've been told just 18 metres carrying the ball. I mean, he's having an evening off.
If the rest of the team are doing it, then there you go. French actually, who gets the kick away. That's a good kick as well. And the chase goes back from Rouget. What a kick that was.
You set him up, Stuart. Bevan French will knock him down. What a brilliant 40-20.
He's done nothing. He has now. Fantastic. That's the beauty of having a brilliant player in your side, isn't it? Here is Mago as Wigan go for the jugular. First time close to the Catalan line in the second half.
Short tackle two, Elliott.
Right in front of the post. It was Havard who was brought down. And Nsemba on the charge. Good defence, good tackle from Laguerre. It really was. One more try should just about do it.
Short tackle for Elliott.
2 tackles left in the set. Leeming, but go to the right with Smith. Well, that was a poor pass, picked up on the bounce by young Zach Eckersley. Got options. Does well, Wardle. Oh, superb from Wardle. Is he going to go the way? What an offload to Leeming. What a try from Wigan. Out of absolutely nothing. First attack in the second half. How good was that? From Jake Wardle. And Cruz Leeming, finishing it all off. And finishing Catalan Dragons off as well.
Special play from Jake Wardle. First of all, the line, the footwork is absolutely terrific. Completely undoes the defence, and then a lovely offload to Cruz Leeming. There's trademark salute, but that is world-class footwork and balance from Jake Wardle. He is a classy centre.
Well, let's hope he can do that against the Aussies in the autumn.
Hey, we've got some brilliant centre three quarters, haven't we? Herbie Farnworth and Jake Wardle, both very similar athletes, long, rangy, good footwork, strong in the tackle. Really looking forward to the Ashes series at the end of the year. But I tell you, that was a terrific piece of play, really special piece of play from the Wigan Warriors centre.
Well, I mentioned, didn't I, that young Eckersley was weighing up his options. It wasn't a bad option he chose.
Well, Wardle offered himself. You know, again, Joel Tompkins has got a blueprint here handed to him by the Wigan Warriors. This is how you run a lead line. This is how you support and keep a play going.
Well, Kieran looking to make it 5 out of 5. 50 minutes on the clock at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. And Wigan are cruising, if you'll pardon the pun, after Cruz Leeming's try. 26 points to nil.
Very good, Stuart. And you called it, didn't you? Bevan French done nothing. Well, he set this up, didn't he? Wardle with the twinkle toes and the brilliant offload to Cruz Leeming. And 26 points to nil. They're on course to match or better their average of 31 points a game. And out of all 17 players on the field, would you believe it? Bevan French has made the least meters with ball in hand, but he came up with a magic play there to hit that 40-20, which set up the position. Eckersley with a wandering sideways run, and then Jake Wardle just offered himself, and the footwork and the offload was nothing short of outstanding.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, somebody thinking is interference at the play, the ball, penalty to Wigan. Somebody thinking during the commentary, I hardly mentioned it.
Yeah, well, there's many ways to influence a game, isn't there? You know, that's it, and it just showed what a talent it is. You switch off for a moment. Cesar Rouge did it at fullback, and he was undone with a brilliant long-range 40-20.
We knew it was coming, didn't we, between us?
It's all that experience to it, isn't it?
26-0, 51 minutes, and Wigan hunting down some more. Tough night at the office for Joel Tompkins in his first game in charge. When you consider he's only had a couple of days to work with the team. This is a big sight, isn't it, for Wigan? Ethan Havard back on the field. Great offload for Nsemba, and Nsemba won't be stopped from there. Backs the ball down over the line. Nothing that Cesar Rouge can do about that. Junior Nsemba gets in on the act with another Wigan try, and on they go. 30 points to nil.
And Super League's top tackle buster, Junior Nsemba, 71, was clear at the top Super League rankings by some distance coming into this game, and just underlined those credentials by waltzing through the attempted tackles of Farge and Cesar Rouge on his way to the try line. That's 2 tries in 2 minutes for the Wigan Warriors, and this is unravelling quickly now for the Catalan Dragons. They got beat last time out to 0 by St Helens, and they haven't even looked like scoring against the Wigan Warriors. I mean, they're 2 pretty high benchmarks, aren't they? But still.
Hey, listen, it's never going to be a quick fix. If you decide that you're going to dispense with the coach's services, sometimes there's a bounce back, isn't there? But when your first game is against the Super League champions, the most ruthless side in the competition as well, it was always going to be tough. And at 30 points to nil, and there's still 27 minutes to go, but yeah, Junior Nsemba, fantastic play from Nsemba. It's a bugbear of mine. Get the likes of Junior Nsemba, Jack Wellesby, players like this, Mikey Lewis. They should be superstars. They should be known up and down the length and breadth of this country. But sometimes I think we need to promote our sport a little better. Junior Nsemba is a genuine superstar. And Wigan are a super team, 30 points to nil. Can Kieran maintain perfection? He can indeed. 6 out of 6 with the boot, 32-0, and It's a lovely day for those 1,000 or so Wigan fans enjoying the sunshine in the south of France.
Right, look, it's been a difficult couple of weeks, hasn't it? They got hammered by Saints, they're getting hammered by the Warriors, and look what's coming up. Hull FC team in form, then they go to the table toppers, and then Lee. So they're playing some informed teams and a team with a point to prove over the next 3 weeks. This task is not going to get any more easy, any more quickly for the Catalan Dragons and Joel Tompkins.
Yeah, Hull FC at the Stade Gilbert Brutus next Saturday, and then Hull KR away. It doesn't get any easier. Here in Junior in December.
Don't go back to him, Matthew!
Apologies for my rant.
That's not a rant. It's a really well-placed, considered set of thoughts. You mean about our players needing to be household names? Yeah, absolutely. We've been saying that for a long time, haven't we?
My phrase is we should be making superstars of our superstars. Great kick, well picked up by youngest Bureau Boucher.
That's good work.
32 points to 0. Wigan in total control, coming off the back of a Catalans Cup defeat, and then, as you say, losing 40 points to 0 at St Helens, and it's not going to get any easier. Looking more and more like a big season of transition for Catalan, and you have to say that the players that they've brought in this year haven't really performed regularly at the highest level.
No, I would agree with that. I think, you know, Elliot Whitehead has not found the form that we've been, you know, the high standards that we've come to expect from him. Luke Keary, as I said, has had a really quiet start to life in Super League. You know, Nick Kotric, for all the tackle busting and everything else, I was looking at his stats earlier today. You know, no real points off the back of that, but probably due to a larger malaise around the Catalan Dragons. You can see, I mean, they've not posted a point now in a game and 2/3, and that's just not acceptable.
It looked like things had turned round when they had that dramatic win over Wakefield, didn't they, in the last game at home, when they won in golden point extra time. They came back bravely and brilliantly, and Remus Smith with a try to a dramatic win, but after that it just got worse and worse for them. Jay Field brought down by the Ofars just inside the Catalan half of the field. Still 24 minutes to go. Here is in December. Knocks away Ulrich da Costa. Harry Smith this time goes on the ground. Picked up by Rouget. Cesar Rouget back in bits as well. He's missed the last 8. His last Super League appearance, actually, was against Lee back in February. So, been a long time for Rouget. No shortage of effort from the Catalan Dragons, but not good enough against the Super League champions.
Look how they're labouring through this set as well. The Wigan Warriors are moving them sideways. There's no real penetration, maybe a bit now.
Yeah, here is Martin, the young man, gets the ball inside, does well. Seems not able to offload, but that was a bit better, wasn't it, with ball in hand. Up goes the kick from Rouget, and the tackle there on Jay Field, all offside, penalty to Wigan. Even when they get themselves into a decent position, I think one of the disappointing things for Joel Tompkins is that the last tackle plays, for all the ball and possession they've had, have been nothing.
No, they've found themselves in poor positions at the ends of sets. They found themselves on touchlines. They found themselves kicking off the back foot. The small details there, kick chase not onside. I mean, it's an absolute gift for a Wigan Warriors team who let's be frank, that they've had moments of brilliance, flashes of brilliance in this game, but it's been a workaday performance from the visitors as well.
December with the offload. Kane Harris back off the field. Liam Byrne, real workhorse, isn't he? Speculation about his future as well, isn't there? Liam Byrne, linked to Warrington. That was a little run by Bevan Francis, ball in hand. Coming up for an hour on the clock. Wigan 32-0 in front. Who's going to come up with the ball? Marshall tries. Catalan have it back.
Hold this line, stay on the red.
A better carry from the Catalan Dragons to start this set, with a little more intent from Cesar Rouget.
You can bet the one thing that's uppermost in Matty Peake's mind now is job done, game one. Do not concede any points. Picked up there. Rouget for the Catalan Dragons. Remus Smith at dummy half. An hour into this game, but on the last, look where Luke Keary's getting the kick away, and that's an easy take for Jay Field. It was his try after just 3 minutes that started the ball rolling, and he saw a gap, and he was nearly through that gap. Well done, Paul Seguier. Matthew Laguerre rather for bringing him down, but Laguerre has made a couple of important tackles today, but just give him a yard, give him a gap, and not a lot can be done.
Well, again, just the
penalty.
Yeah, just the speed of the ruck is too much for the Catalan Dragons. And again, Harry Smith will punch this into a corner, and they're going to have a full set now in the Catalan Dragons half.
All about being ruthless now, isn't it? Driving home that advantage. Here is the captain, Farrell.
Together, Ravis!
Little juggle by Kane Ellis.
Find the line, come on, Terry, come on, mate.
But again, pressing on that Catalan line. It's a great ball. What a pass to Liam Marshall. What a pass that was. Unbelievable. 25-yard pass, and Liam Marshall won't score too many easier tries than that. He gets another 2 for the night. 6 in total now for Wigan. And Marshall races in at the corner, and it's 36-0. But what a pass.
That was magnificent, wasn't it, from Bevan French? Take a look at this on a wide angle. This will show it really well. Bevan French, quiet running afternoon, breaks late from behind the ruck, and then picks a 20-metre cut-out ball, misses out 3 Catalan Dragons defenders, and a walk-in, pretty much, for Liam Marshall, untouched in the corner. That's his second of the evening. And Bevan French is proving he doesn't need 200 run meters to have an effect on a game. Just 2 moments where he's inserted himself into this contest. A 40-20, which led to that magnificent Wardle weaving run and the Leeming try. And then just a brilliant pass. Great vision to find Liam Marshall.
A smile from Matty Peake. I'm sure he'll console his good mate Joel Tompkins after the game. We'll hear from both coaches. But it's been a tough first game for Joel Tompkins. But I think whatever he was going to be on to a hiding to nothing.
The glass was steamed up inside the coaching box. He'll be fuming with what he's seen, if I'm honest. It's been a really lacklustre performance from the Catalan Dragons.
6 out of 6 so far, Adam Kieran. Former Catalan Dragon. Let's see what he can do. Right off the touchline. First miss. But They won't be bothered, nor will Matty P. 36 points to nil, 17 minutes to go, and they've done what they do so often, Wigan. They do what it says on the Wigan tin.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kieran can't convert, but it's worth taking another look at the try, because that was special, wasn't it? I think it was outstanding play from Bevan French in the lead up to that.
It's a great run. I think it was Byrne, wasn't it? It was. Brilliant run, brilliant charging run from the kickoff from Liam Byrne. No, that would be the icing on the cake for me. Over 5 years since Liam Byrne has scored a try in Super League. You never know.
Yeah, his talents clearly lie elsewhere,
Yes.
don't they? But I tell you, he's very, very effective in that middle third of the field, isn't he?
Absolutely. A lot of what he does, all the good stuff he does, goes unnoticed. He really is the workhorse. French with a little chip over the top, getting more and more involved. Picked up by Cesar Rouget, but not really anywhere for the young man to go. Steve McNamara, of course, Super League's longest-serving coach, 8 years he was in charge. Did a great job, though, didn't he? Saved the club from relegation, led them to Wembley, they won the Cup, they won the League Leaders' Shield, they lost narrowly in 2 grand finals in 3 years, and just wonder whether it may turn out to be the right time for both parties.
Yeah, I'm glad that you've gone on record, because I think Steve has had a magnificent impact on the Dragons, and he's left the club in a much better place, notwithstanding the performance from this evening, than when he picked it up.
And what a legacy. I mean, he literally did save them from the drop. They won the £1 million game, you may remember, at Lee. Jay Field, who started it all off.
Oh, now Spiro Bichet has picked up an injury in the tackle.
I think he has.
He had an exocet coming at him, didn't he? And Jay Field too. Not moving. I think maybe a clash of knees. This as they come together. Spiro Bichet turns in. It's exactly that. It's a clash of knees, and they're painful as well.
Left knee to left knee. 15 minutes to go. Oh. Another mistake. Game littered by errors.
Well, it's 36 points to nil, and the Catalan Dragons are looking unlikely to trouble the Wigan line, but there's still be plenty for the visiting team to work through in review, because this has been, the scoreline really doesn't reflect the level of performance from both, well, certainly from Wigan, because it's, dare I say it, a below-par performance from the Warriors.
Remus Smith. Probably not their most dangerous player. With ball in hand, get a set restart. Can they get some points on the board in Joel Tompkins' first game? Satai puts the ball down. Well, that kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? As far as the Catalan Dragons are concerned, a rueful shake of the head from Chris Satai.
No, it's just loose, isn't it? It's very, very loose. Never really had full control of the ball before the tackle came in. Probably wasn't expecting the pass from Ollie Partington, but
well, yeah, this is the first 6 away games. Look at that for the Wigan Warriors. If they share the Brit Stadium, don't they, with Wigan Athletics? So some pitch repairs and maintenance going on. All it means, though, is that they'll look even more dangerous at the back end of the season, stuck full of home games.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Right end of the year, back-to-back at home as you're leading towards the playoffs. It's one of those unintended consequences, unintended benefits, perhaps, for the Wigan Warriors.
Burn on halfway. 13 minutes to go. Another mistake. We'll talk about Pete after. I suppose as a coach, I think he won't be critical today. He may well be, as you say, in the review session on Monday. But all the errors that Wigan have made, but what can you say when they're still winning 36-0?
I actually think he'll be dirt on his team, and the result in the papers tomorrow will look great, won't it? You know, 36 points to nil. If he doesn't get any better than that for the Wigan Warriors, but I'll wager you now he'll be filthy on his team at the end of this game, because it hasn't been a great performance from them, has it? It really hasn't. No. 10 errors. They've actually made more errors than the home side.
After error after error. So the game meandering now, isn't it, to that final hooter.
Good pick up off your toes from Junior and Sember. Wasn't a great ball from dummy half, was it? But he made it. Added another more tackle bust to that tally of his for 2025.
Ellis eventually plays the ball just inside the Catalan half of the field. Bevan French and Junior and Sember once more, always looking to offload, isn't he? Like Gare it was with the tackle. On the short side, Smith with a kick forward, and was it played up by Catalan? Or not? I think Catalan are going to get the ball back.
But again, scrappy. And maybe a more philosophical Matt Pete might say, well, it's a good job we're getting this all out of our system mid-season. Last 2 or 3 games we've seen this from Wigan. A lot of errors, scrappy, but they've been good enough, haven't they? They've been able to pull out those ruthless streaks, those glimpses of brilliance that have secured them points, but
more than good enough. 3-0 at half-time, meandering at the start of the second half. And then 3 tries in the space of 12 minutes and job done, and picked up by Elliot Whitehead for the Dragons. Keary. Good tackle it was by Bevan French on Luke Keary, but gingerly gets to the ground.
There's a bit of afters on the floor. Kieran's done a fair bit of defensive work. He's got in heavy and hard on a number of occasions. Adam Kieran that time on Tariq Sims.
11 Wigan errors in this game. The most important statistic is the 3 and the 6 at the bottom of your screen. As far as Matt Pete is concerned, the 0 next to the CAT. 10 minutes they've got, Catalan, to get points on the board. Navarrete will always be fired up for the cause, and the Costa it was with the pass, and again just sums up the day.
Again, just so non-committal from Sarte. If you're going to put yourself in that position, you've got to be prepared to take the pass. Just again, a real lack of respect for possession and position. And look, the game's gone. The game had probably gone with the first try after half-time. But
there's a chance here for Ackley. This is a great opportunity. Wigan looking for more. Ball back inside. Brilliant pass. And there's the try. And it's Bevan French who pops up from nowhere. The smile says it all. Bevan French hasn't done too much today, but what he has done has been effective, because in the second half he's created 2 tries and he's scored 1, and it's 40 points to 0. And Bevan French getting in on the act.
Well, round 12's invisible man has struck to bring up 40. Kieran, I think, has had a brilliant evening from the boot and in play, both sides of the ball. Just picks up Bevan French, dropping short side, and he manages to get on the scoreboard. He's dipped in and out of the game, hasn't he, this evening, but the class is always there. Kieran down the sideline, just waits for support, and then a cute little pass round the corner. Bevan French crosses to bring up 40 for the Wigan Warriors. Don't let the scoreboard fool you. This has not been a special performance from the Warriors, far from it. It's been riddled with errors. It's had no sort of rhythm to it at all, but the class is there.
Well, Bevan French and Jay Field tries and try assists, 43.
Ridiculous. Yeah, Bevan French, 12 try assists before today. Stick another one on there for that pass to Liam Marshall. Bevan French, 13 tries for the year now.
Yeah, absolutely. There are two key components in a Wigan engine which hasn't purred today, misfired a bit, but at 40 points to nil, they can't complain too much.
Yeah, and the fans have been rewarded, haven't they, for their trip down. They've got some decent weather, bank holiday weekend, and they've seen their side absolutely drub a Catalan Dragon side that's been found wanting, Stuart.
This is the first of 3 Super League clashes between the two sides. Wigan at home at the end of July, and then at the end of August, at the August bank holiday, they're back in Perpignan. This is going to be a 5th consecutive win over Catalan. Another successful kick for Adam Kieran, 42-0. I think they'll enjoy themselves in Perpignan town tonight.
They'll be here for the long weekend. Bevan French, the latest in a string of try scorers. Field opened the scoring. Walters before his injury. Marshall with his first before the break, and then Leeming from that wonderful passage of play from Jake Wardle. And Sember, Marshall with his second, and then Bevan French on 72 minutes. There's your 42 points. Adam Kieran almost faultless with the boot.
Kane Ellis. Steve McNamara is watching with us here on Sky Sports. He will be saddened, I'm sure, by the scoreline. John Wells will choose our Betfred player of the match. We'll just let him think about that for a minute or two. Here is Jay Field. They're looking for a way through. Gets away from Fars twice, and Wardle finds Marshall. Now Marshall's away. There's going to be another Wigan try here, and it's going to be a stroll in for Harry Smith. Superb from Wigan once again, started by Jay Field. They make it so easy down that left-hand side, and as soon as Liam Marshall got the ball, you knew that a try was coming. And it's Harry Smith who gets another, and Wigan are closing in on 50 points in Perpignan.
Such speed on the edge from Liam Marshall. It really stretches the defence. It's a footwork from Field that puts him in position. Quick hands from Wardle, and that speed really, it stretches the initial defence, and then it really commits a fullback. You don't want to be made a mug of on the outside by getting skinned by the winger. You've got to commit. I mean, look at that. It's a full-throated run down the sideline, and then just breaking stride again in time for the support. He had his choice, Smith or Wardle. It was Harry Smith who gets the try, but just that raw pace on the outside, it really adds an extra dynamic to this Wigan attack.
Over 10,000 at the stand, Gilbert Brutus. Adam Kieran will attempt another conversion. John, your Betfred player of the match.
Yeah, I think someone who's done incredibly well both sides of the ball. I think he's set up a couple of tries. His defence has been outstanding. And when we get back onto pictures of him, has been almost flawless with the boot. My Betfred player of the match is Adam Kieran. I think he's had a wonderful evening. Back on his old stomping ground. And you're right, there's plenty of noise, isn't there, about where he's going to play his trade next season.
Well, we'll be able to ask him.
Well, I think performances like that will provide the answers to any questions the Wigan Warriors might have. Certainly, I'm sure they would want to retain his services.
Yeah, against his former club. Adam Kieran looking to make it 8 out of 9 with the boot. And it is 48 points to nil, and Wigan still have 4 minutes to try and get past 50. Yeah, Adam Kieran played in the 2023 Grand Final, his last game for Catalan. Wigan, of course, won that Grand Final by by 10 points to 2, but he is our player of the match. It's just been a good day. It's been a bad day at the office for the Catalan Dragons. This must be one of the heaviest defeats on home soil.
Yeah, well, I think the departure of Steve McNamara, maybe to those from the outside looking in, wasn't too much of a shock. But I think from the noises that I heard from inside Perpignan, that has come as a real shock to the playing group. And don't underestimate the effect that can have on a group of players as well.
Joe Tompkins summed it up. Everyone was shocked, absolutely stunned when Steve McNamara left the club. But as I said right at the outset, I'm sure there's one or two doors which will open wide for him in the coming months. Wardle still manages to offload, but the knock-on by Field, and we've seen some good, some very good, some bad and some very bad from Wigan, but bottom line is 48 points to 0 is very good.
Well, I think the Wigan Warriors are going to challenge this one. They may as well have the captain's challenge. So no, they decided not to challenge. I think the referee asked Liam Farrell, "Are you going to challenge that?" So what's the point? They don't accrue captain's challenges, though, Liam.
Even so, I mean, that just sometimes we've seen it on quite a few occasions, haven't we, this season, when games are well won and well lost. The captain of the losing team
just chucks it out there, yeah.
For the heck of it, yeah.
That's a decent run from Navarrete.
Yeah, it does well. I'll say he does well. He did well. But the ending of that burst from Roman Navarrete, summing up Catalan's day, and the face on Chris Satay summing up Catalan feelings. We have 2 minutes to go, and Wigan 48 points to 0 to the good.
Look, the aggregate over the last 2 games is 88 points to 0. It's not been a good couple of weeks, has it, for the Dracs? And the Wigan Warriors have barely had to do more than go through the motions this evening.
Well, can they meet 50 points? Oh, brilliant offload. That's sensational from Field. He just tackled by Remus Smith. Otherwise, that was another try for Wigan. Still 5. It's the last one. Ball just chipped back. I think it's Byrne who picks it up, but no heroics there. Just takes the tackle. Sensible play.
It was you're watching the end of the play here. A play that started with Bevan French Jay Field streaking through a gap, and then a good tackle actually from Cesar Rouget. I think he covered that off reasonably well, but these are small things to grab hold of as a Catalan Dragons fan. Remus Smith has had a decent afternoon. Rouget's shown up well when he's come on the field. Seguier has been industrious, but as I said, at the halfway point, Stuart, for all that industry, just very little polish on the end of it. It has looked ragged at times.
Is there any joy for Catalan in the last 30 seconds? Big hit from Nsemba on Theo Farge. Farge gets it back to Kieran, who puts the kick up, and easy take it was from the man of the match, Adam Kieran. And I'm pretty sure that will be it. The hooter goes, and it was the player of the match, Adam Kieran, who took the last play. Some boos from the home fans, possibly a bit harsh. It's been a tough week, hasn't it, at the Stade Gilbert Brutus for Catalan, but Wigan scoring 8 tries, winning by 48 points to 0. Despite the fact that it was nowhere near Wigan at their roaring best, it was still Wigan doing what they had to do. 48-0 and Wigan's 7th consecutive win in Super League, and they reduce that deficit once more to just 2 points behind Hull KR at the top.
Yeah, and they're going through a period of the Wigan Warriors, and it sounds bizarre to say it off the back of a 48-point winning margin. They're going through a period at the moment where they're off it a little bit by their own extremely high standards. You haven't seen that consistency. The errors are there. They're handing opposition possession, but they are just too good. They have individuals who can drag them out the mire. I think the collective defence, the goal line defence is intact. You can see all the systems are working, and